Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Zarina Thonga and I'm a graphic designer at Turnleft Media based in South Africa. As many of you know, Turnleft Media is the exclusive media partner for LinkedIn in the sub-Saharan Africa and is now an alliance partner for LinkedIn in the talent solutions as well. Get an exclusive look at the recent and upcoming product releases from LinkedIn's marketing solutions. We will explore the new and upcoming LinkedIn products and answer all your burning questions. We'll also be covering all the new LinkedIn Business Manager, LinkedIn Audience Network changes, document ads and reach, and audience insights, all designed to make it easier for your brand to stand out in the evolving world of work. During the hour, we'll have a deeper look into our upcoming products, the newest product enhancements, including LinkedIn's Business Manager, and we'll have a Q&A with the LinkedIn Marketing Solutions product expert. We are proud to welcome some amazing speakers, and I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker, Theo Maloney. Theo is an Associate Product Marketing Manager at LinkedIn in LinkedIn UK. He earned a BSc in Marketing and Consumer Psychology from the University of Sussex. Theo has had an extensive experience as an Associate Product Manager focused on developing mobile apps for major sporting organizations. He's moved to eBay, where he worked in brand and partnerships, creating brand campaigns and forming partners with companies like the Football League to help eBay's brand become more appealing to Generation Z. More recently, Theo joined LinkedIn in a product marketing role, working in LinkedIn Marketing Solutions, focused on sales enablement and developing product and features to empower marketers on LinkedIn. He is currently focusing on LAN and localization of content on LinkedIn, with a broad knowledge of LinkedIn's roadmap and upcoming releases. He was named Google's Top Black Talent 2022. His most recent project is developing a business case to promote content localization on LinkedIn and proving the ORIS that can be achieved when content is localized and not just translated. Now, before we jump into the amazing insights, Theo, first tell us what's inspiring you now through something you've heard, seen, or read recently. What makes you fired up? Theo, thank you for your time today, and over to you.
Hi everyone, and thank you for the introduction. Currently, what has me fired up is just the current landscape, but in a place where the ads marketplace and marketing solutions in general is seeing rapid change in many different ways, and it's exciting just to see what we can build going forward and what the future holds for us.
Lovely. Thank you, Theo.
So today I'll take you on a quick stop tour through our product roadmap with a few focuses, for example, Business Manager. So we'll start there. The first thing I'd like to say is Business Manager is something that's been in the works for us at LinkedIn for a long time. Business Manager has been in production for upwards of 3 years. I'm excited that I get to tell you a bit more about it today. So the beta launch of Business Manager is currently live, and that means right now, as you can see, July, August, you can start creating your account and making the most of it. So what exactly is it? We're not reinventing the campaign manager tool. So I'll just set the stage here. We know that the way things are today, having to manage your pages for organic activity sits in one place, and then paid activity lies within the campaign manager tool. However, when you need to manage access, it can be quite long and aggravating. So the idea behind Business Manager is, wouldn't it be great if they were all in one place? And you have multiple company pages managing, marketing multiple business lines. You can easily perform the same actions on all of them at once. That is the crux of Business Manager. So today, all your campaign manager ad accounts and client pages are connected by the various employees that work on them, but there's no agency level view. And that's where Business Manager enters the picture. So Business Manager is a managerial account that sits on top of the existing campaign manager and pages experiences on LinkedIn, bringing all your paid and organic marketing under one umbrella that is able to promote better agency level visibility and drive ease of use and speed on LinkedIn. this is made for you to make sure your experience is better. So what can you do? You can track all your business's accounts and client pages from one location. You can easily manage access for individuals and multiple accounts and pages at once. Alongside this, you can streamline how you work with your clients through B2B sharing of accounts and pages. And then you can save time scaling your audience by using our matched audiences across accounts, a big feature and something that really makes us stand out. Basically, Business Manager will make it easier for your teams to operate at scale on LinkedIn. Administrative tasks can be done at a business level now, so your organization has more time to focus on driving ROI across your campaigns rather than the admin tasks that would once took very long to do. Business Manager powers your scalable permissioning, so you can easily assign the right people to the right ad accounts and pages in bulk. When someone leaves a company, for example, you're able to remove those permissions. From an agency-wide lens, you'll be able to see your entire footprint on LinkedIn with a central view of all your agency's ad accounts and client pages. What we're doing is we're making it easier for your agency to work with your clients, and you can share business-wide access to each other's accounts and pages. What this allows is for businesses to be responsible for managing its own people and will avoid delays getting onboarded as new people join. And lastly, if you use the same accounts across ad accounts, the same audiences across ad accounts, rather than having to create and manage multiple audiences in every single account, you can share them across accounts now, saving you significant time and a big pain point that we know many were facing on the platform. So you can control your ad accounts and pages by establishing Business Manager ownership over them. And you can see a little example of that there. You can track all your organization's ad accounts and pages, connect Business Manager to another organization's, and then also share your ad accounts with them, and then give new team members immediate access to exactly what they need without all the bells and whistles. So how do you onboard to Business Manager? We've made this a very simple experience. It's not something that takes too much time, but it's also not disruptive, which is really important to your current experience. So you don't need to recreate your ad accounts or pages. You can just move them over quite easily. Live campaigns, billing, and API or data integration also won't be impacted. They'll work exactly the same as they did previously. And existing users on ad accounts and pages will retain access. You can invite them to Business Manager or remove them, but they will not lose access without you having that say so. So Business Manager is a new product that, as you know, but we're still working on new features. We haven't just done it there and we think it's perfect. We know there's more that can be improved. So this is what we're working on. Our first big bets are a revenue attribution report, in which advertisers can connect their CRMs to Business Manager and see how ads are impacting business results. We will also release the ability to view and download billing activity and monthly invoices across ad accounts, because we know that's something that has been asked for. And from Business Manager for online monthly invoicing ad accounts to make it easier to manage billing. And then also two-factor authentication for Business Manager, so admins can force its people to enable two-factor login. So that's a quick run through of what Business Manager is and why you should be using it and how to get started. Now I'll go into a brief overview of our roadmap and what we've got planned coming up. So I'm looking forward to sharing the vision with you today. This is just supposed to provide a look at where our roadmap and where LinkedIn is heading and how we believe LMS will help shape the future of B2B marketing. We won't go through a comprehensive product portfolio, but I'll highlight some most important things that we're expecting and also exploring within the next 1 to 3 years. So our platform is the perfect foundation for the B2B marketer. We are built for marketers by marketers. And you need to build long-term relationships in a short-term world. We offer the tools to help you understand and build relationships with the professionals you're looking for at every step of the journey and funnel. You need to drive and measure results in an evolving privacy landscape. Things are changing all the time, as I mentioned earlier, and we are adapting with that. And we are driving the industry forward with our unique approach to professional identity and innovation around B2B measurement, something that is very strong and something that is a focus in our current roadmap. You also need to reach your customers in a way that respects your needs and theirs. LinkedIn understands and respects professionals and the organizations they work for better than anyone else. So, influencer ads. I'm excited to introduce it. And in today's world of product-led growth, the most influential recommendation for a product or service comes from a real human, a peer, a user, or someone at that company. We are building this new format to enable this experience for our customers. Influencer ads will increase engagement, humanize your brand, and provide credibility. Advertisers will soon be able to sponsor content from members and creators. To start, you'll be able to sponsor their executive posts or other high-profile employees, being able to increase the reach of these already influential people. So, document ads and ads within the Discover tab. Document ads is something I'll go into a bit more detail in later, as we know it's something we're very excited about and something that has just ramped up to 100%. So document ads such as ebooks, slides, and papers in the LinkedIn feed help grow your reputation and boost engagement. It allows you to tell a story with your ads, and it allows you to tell a story within the feed while people are in that mood and in that mind frame. Also, ads within the Discover tab, and you'll get more outcomes with your ads in the new Discover tabs. Members usually use these tabs to stay on top of news and create conversations. So that's the type of mold that you'll be able to design and place your ads in. So there's also inbox related formats such as click to message ads and conversation starter ads. So click to message ads capture your audience's attention in the feed, then drive consideration and conversion through the inbox. It allows them to take it a step further. And then conversation starter ads. So you can actually start conversations with high intent professionals that lead to quality conversions. These are all things that we are currently working on. So now document ads. The new format that has is live now, available to all customers on September 21st. And it does what it says on the tin. Document ads allow you to promote both gated and ungated documents directly in a member's feed, where they can read and download content without having to leave the platform. You can tell your story in one place for a few swipes. And this means they can interact with promoted document with comfort. So you can grow quality thought leadership and drive better quality leads. How might you use it? So there's a few ways. One is to encourage reading in the feed, inspire your audience with thought leadership, and then convert their interest with lead gen forms. And then drive warmer conversations and leads. You can learn how much of your content is read and downloaded and help that inform your strategy and how you adapt in your future documents. Then you can also measure performance of your documents. So members can read your content quickly, and easily. It's in the feed, and they can do this on a website or app without slowing them down and adding an extra step to have them reach your website. You can advertise to them and convert to them in that one place. So that's document ads. And now I'll talk to you a little bit about LAN, which is the LinkedIn Audience Network. And what this is, it's a way to reach millions of professionals across multiple touchpoints on our network of publishers. So what is LAN and how do you activate it? LAN is a feature that allows advertisers to reach LinkedIn members by delivering sponsored content ads beyond the LinkedIn feed to trusted partner sites and apps. We have an extensive vetting process, and we're partnered with different companies such as DoubleVerify to make sure that all the partners we use are vetted and that you're getting that same quality that you get on LinkedIn. LAN helps B2B advertisers find, reach, and engage curated professional audiences in the spaces where they frequent. So LinkedIn does not share its first-party data, which means we are the only place that you're actually able to reach these people on other sites while still being that narrow in your targeting. And within the campaign manager setup, LAN appears under the placement section, and it's depicted on this image here. And one thing to note is that LAN is automatically selected on supported campaigns. So we know that LAN's publisher list is not as extensive here, but LAN should be used with an export first approach. So our data shows that LAN can be used for export in your market. And if you're targeting the UK, APAC, NAMA, LAN is a great tool to lower your cost on LinkedIn. So what's ahead? Currently, revenue attribution reporting is something we're looking at. Audience insights, in-stream and connected video on LAN. A bit further down the line, custom context targeting, landing pages for marketers, conversation starter ads, and target frequency optimization. We also have LinkedIn Business Manager updates like we spoke about, matched audience sharing and single account dashboards. And then also in 2023, those ads within the Discover tab. So this has been a quick stop tour into what we've got planned for LinkedIn and how we are looking at the landscape and the space ahead. And you can find more detail on this. So thank you, everyone. Really enjoyed taking you through this roadmap.
Theo, thank you so much. Those are some really great insights. And the comments from the audience is just as excited and engaged. Now, to lead our panel discussion, I'm handing over to my colleague Morris Krier, co-founder and director from Turnip Media.
Z, thank you so much for doing the introductions for us. Really excited to be here today. And Theo, thank you so much for the great insights. I am super, super excited for influencer ads. I think it's something that I didn't even know was on the product roadmap. And we have so much interest from brands around social leadership and thought leadership. It's definitely going to be a massive, massive success. So I'm going to take it a little bit closer now. I'm going to ask our amazing keynote speaker and our panelists a few questions. Before I start, just a little housekeeping. If you have any questions during the conversation, please put them in the chat box. We'll make sure to respond as we go. And I want to just do a quick round of introductions. So first, we've got Michael Mariti. I'm going to add Michael. There we go. He's the head of digital marketing for Kenya at Standard Chartered Bank, an accomplished digital marketer with years of experience in a variety of sectors. He's devoted to telling the bank's compelling story online, and he's got a broad range of experiences across different sectors. He's got a track record of success in assisting brands in developing and providing value. And he probably gets to live in one of the most beautiful African countries and African cities. I see we've got some Kenyans on the line. We're jealous about that amazing views and the national park that's just around Nairobi. So beautiful place to live. Then we've got Jude, who is the Director of Operations at Digital Optimization. Again, also an experienced Director of Operations with a massive track record of success in the marketing and advertising industry. I've been really lucky to work with him across a number of brands. He holds an operations management diploma from Get Smarter, with a great focus on business administration, management, operations, also a skilled marketer. He's got lots of experience in online campaign management, social media marketing, programmatic advertising, and digital strategy. So, Jude, Michael, super, super grateful to have you both with us today. And I'm going to jump right in. So, before we start, we have this tradition. We tried it with Theo first. We're going to ask you to tell us something that's not on your LinkedIn profile, right? So find that super unique skill, or just something that you're listening or reading right now. And I'm going to start with you, Jude.
So I own a motorcycle that I enjoy taking out for breakfast rides during summer. So Sunday mornings, I'd wake up early, take a ride through to Royals and have some good breakfast.
Brilliant, brilliant. Michael, are you back?
Yes, I am back.
Yes,
Sorry
we're
about
back.
that.
The joys of technology. Michael,
Yep.
what is not on your LinkedIn profile?
Oh, wow. I've actually participated in a couple of white papers and impact reports, and I think I need to append them on my LinkedIn profile. They're not really tied into, the kind of digital marketing kind of play, but I think it'll be good for me to add them there. That's something that I intend to do quite soon, actually.
Brilliant. So your LinkedIn profile is a good space to showcase your expertise and your publications. So definitely add them on. You can add lots of rich media. And Jude, when I'm back in Cape Town, you need to go show me your sexy bike. Really excited. Theo, I'm gonna drag you in because you've given us the secret sauce, right? So I'm sure that over the years on LinkedIn, right, there's lots and lots and lots of significant product updates and trends that catches your eye or that are used the most. What's your favorite LinkedIn product or feature that you use the most or that you see brands use the most?
Yeah, so there's a kind of two different answers there. Something that I've really enjoyed using over the last few months is definitely the LinkedIn news section. So a lot of effort has gone into creating that news section and making sure that it's relevant for you. And I've really enjoyed being able to consume everything in one place. So I'm able to see all my feed and I'm also able to consume news in one place. And that's been something that has really changed the way I've used LinkedIn. And that's been my favorite way so far. And something I've really seen brands enjoy, I think currently is Business Manager. So Business Manager is something that they are really enjoying. And as I mentioned, it's been in the works for 3+ years. So when it's used correctly, Business Manager is a great tool. And that's something that I would definitely say people are definitely excited about.
Absolutely. I mean, just as a business ourselves, and I think about Jude from an agency perspective, trying to manage all of those assets in one place or across these different disparate places has always been interesting. Michael, Jude, what's your current favorite LinkedIn product or feature that you use the most or that your brand uses? Again, Michael, maybe let's hear from you.
I just have to say that it definitely, without a doubt, is sponsored emails within, the inbox related formats. They have been wonderful because specifically within the banking industry, and when you're really trying to tap into certain niche kind of audiences, in this case, maybe trying to appeal to affluent audiences, the format has really enabled us to tap into these audiences and not just reach them in terms of an awareness perspective, but also source really good leads that have converted actually to quality clientele. And currently, right now, more than just thinking about it as LinkedIn is a need to have a channel for affluent advertising. Inbox related format, sponsored email is the go-to. Whenever I walk to the office, I keep hearing any more leads coming in, any more leads coming in. It's such a powerful tool, and actually other channels don't really give you that kind of value in terms of business impact. So I really have to say that is my favorite, and we use a host of other formats, your sponsored video, carousel formats, and all that. But that has to be my favorite, without a doubt.
Amazing. And Jude, from your perspective?
So I also have some great success with emails. But I'd say basically the ability to target job titles. If you're looking at other social networks, it's nowhere near as strong as LinkedIn. And obviously LinkedIn is a professional network. And I found that actually the job title targeting with emails, it doesn't need to be B2B. You can actually use it to target a high net worth individual for certain products. So yeah, really strong on those two fronts.
Okay, awesome. Theo, so I mean, there's lots of updates and enhancements and features that LinkedIn's working on, right? How do you choose the ones that are released? What is the process of building out client-facing products? Give us a little bit of an inside scoop.
Yeah, so our product team gets hundreds of requests all the time. There's always small updates to features or big updates to features that are requested. And that's both internally and externally. So often our clients can tell their reps, and then their reps will bring that back to us and understand what it is they want improved. So the first thing to say is there are hundreds of requests. So what actually happens is the product team will sit down and we sort through all of those requests. And then we divide them between business need, impact, customer need. What can we build? What's a quick win as well as something? So what can we build quickly that can really solve an issue? So for example, Business Manager was something that was in the works for a long time, but it was put as a priority because we knew the impact it could have for our customers. So there's lots of different factors that go into the balance, but some things take a lot longer than others to build. But usually it's a trade-off, and we just have to find the balance between what we can do in the short term, long term, and then what will have the most impact for our customers.
Okay, amazing. And talking about Business Manager, I mean, obviously that's a big play for LinkedIn. It sits alongside Campaign Manager as well as the native experience you get on the LinkedIn products, right? So there's a lot of similar strategies that have been implemented on other social media platforms. What makes ours unique?
So the audience manager and match audiences and audience. Our audience is what we always put first. So the ability to manage your audience and then retarget them across different ad accounts is what makes our business manager unique and where a lot of the value will come from. Instead of having to keep creating new audiences and going through that whole process, you can share those audiences now, and you can take that audience and use it again. And that's what we think really can help us be unique, as well as just making the whole experience easier. So LinkedIn, we know our advantages, and making the experience easier for advertisers and agencies is what sets us apart.
Okay, and you can plead the fifth on this, but what was the thinking? Sorry, and this is we not pre-prepared. Like, what is the thinking around creating a separate experience with Business Manager and not integrating it into any of the other existing products like Campaign Manager?
So it's giving you the option to choose what works better for you. So we know that when you're having numerous people to manage, Business Manager is perfect, but everyone's situations can be a little bit different. So it's an option for you to use that if you're managing numerous people you should be using, but we didn't want to say you have to use this because everyone has different ways they like to use LinkedIn, but there are definitely, for the broad spectrum of people, Business Manager is something that everyone should be using.
Brilliant. So obviously LinkedIn's got this mentality of member first, and it's a great example of creating scaled solutions. So Michael, Jude, what was the most exciting product release or update for you? Michael, maybe then Jude?
Oh, I'm actually looking forward to two of them. The first one definitely is document ads. And I say this because when we are looking at advertising initiatives that really focus on awareness around our sustainability activities, we always ask ourselves, what more can we do to get people reading our impact reports and reading all these great things that we're doing for the communities that we participate in, right? So being able to plug in, to have a platform that really just, focuses on that is something that I'm really looking forward to. And especially when we're getting to the point now that we are really trying to put in more energy around advertising across, what we call our sustainability stance, right? The next thing is, I was actually surprised when I saw the LinkedIn audience network piece, and being able to tap into platforms that form, part of, the wider LinkedIn partnership. It's something that I'm really looking forward to. And I'd actually, Myers, this is something that I'd really like to get a deep dive on also as well. As we look towards, optimizing all the different campaigns that we have. So those two are really my big pieces that I'm looking forward to.
Amazing. And for you, Jude?
Definitely document ads with Reach. So basically, it's a very easy way to get, for instance, a white paper out there. And I mean, users can consume it within the newsfeed. So it makes things a lot easier, because a lot of platforms actually reject ads that click through to PDFs. So it kind of goes around that and actually cuts down the user journey.
Okay, brilliant. Theo, I mean, so there are several brands who get to test these product releases a little bit, before all of us. Have you observed any brands using document ads or Reach or the audience insight successfully that we can go and we can look at as an early case study, perhaps?
So we can't give the names yet because it's been a beta. So it's only ramped, as I mentioned, on the 21st. So it's very new. But we have seen a lot of brands have high results with Business Manager in a few different categories. So yet we don't have a case study we can give you, but very shortly we will. And that's something that we can share and I can follow up with once we're able to verify and go through the steps needed, unfortunately, to get these case studies.
Okay, so the moment we have them, we'll share them with everybody. There's already one question from the audience. I'm going to quickly slide it in. This is from Tejo. And Tejo, thank you so much for joining the webinar today, man. Please clarify influencer ads a little bit more for us. Does it mean that an influencer will now be able to run ads directly from their profile without a page? Or does it mean the business will be able to promote posts where they are tagged by an influencer, especially when the influencer is an exec for the business? Give us a little bit more of a deep dive.
Yeah, that's no problem. So the name is to be decided. That is a real sneak peek. The name could change, but what influencer ads does is it allows advertisers to sponsor, at this point, employee content directly from their company page. So as you mentioned, the execs of the company. So once that person makes a post, you can sponsor it and increase the reach of their content from execs, employees, and thought leaders. That can help your brand create a more authentic voice. So currently you're in the beginning phases of research and development. That's why we don't have an exact name or a prototype to show you. But currently this is how we're looking at it and what we're building towards.
I'm sure there's a few people on the call today who would be happy to put up their hands and said, we'll give it a go. So Michael and Jude, why do you think people should why do you think businesses should choose, document ads over standard blog posts on their website? Jude, maybe we'll hear you first.
So, as I mentioned, definitely shortens the user journey. So it's an easier way to educate your future customers. And it helps in that full funnel. So you'd actually end up spending less money to actually get your leads.
Okay, brilliant. And Michael, from your perspective?
I think I can point out to two points. The first one, Jude has highlighted it well about shortening the client journey. The other thing also is that you're really able to measure the impact real time of the initiative that you're trying to push, right? If people are going to download those documents, view them, and what have you within the advertising kind of environment, that's how you're able to tell the value and the impact of the message that you're trying to put out, right? So it also gives you insights as to are people really interested in what you're talking about? Is this something that they want to know, right? And also they can share with you again commentary. The website, no one is giving you comments about the kind of things you're doing, but within LinkedIn, within the document, as I'm expecting, we'll be able to see commentary about the content and about what else that we can improve as brands.
Okay, great. Theo, back to you. I mean, for B2B businesses, especially today's sort of FinServ and tech brands, lead and demand generation are big priorities. So what do you think, what strategic role can document ads play in supporting and facilitating this process for brands?
So document ads allows you to tell a story. That's the key here. You can put your white papers, all these things, and you can take them along that journey all in one place without adding to that flow. So what we have actually seen that I can say from our beta is we have seen an uptake in leads, and we have seen lots of IT and FinServ companies seeing 30% plus completion rates on their posts. So it is definitely a way to help increase your leads, and it's a great way to take them along that journey in one place and ultimately get that end of a conversion. So it's something, it's coming at the right time for where we are and what people are looking for, and it will work well.
And sorry, sneaking in another question here. When we talk about leads and we talk about the funnel, gated, ungated content, what's the opinion? Where does it fit in? How could it potentially work?
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
So the question is, looking at the sales funnel from a document ads perspective, should we gate content? Should we, ungate content, attach a lead form? What do you think? What have you seen that's been successful, or what are some of the recommendations?
So we do have best practices around that have been being built out from the beta, and it's dependent, which is quite a cop out, but it's dependent. So it depends on exactly what you want and what the content is. So for some content, gated may be more useful, giving them that form to fill out, and for others it may not be. So the best thing I'd say is it can change. So our best practices would be the best way to decide specifically for your campaign and what you want, which one to do.
Listen, not a cop out at all. I mean, like, it really does depend with the brand. But it's always good to ask people off the cuff and see what they say. So shifting gears a little bit, right? So LinkedIn Live and LinkedIn Events have been a feature on LinkedIn for a while now. And we're seeing more and more people continue to engage with virtual events, even though traditional in-person events are starting to sneak back into the calendar, right? So what do you expect, or what do you anticipate for virtual events in the future? And anything you see happening on LinkedIn. And again, I'm going to start with Jude, and then maybe Michael, and then Theo.
So obviously with the pandemic, we've seen clients shift from in-person events through to virtual events. And I mean, even as the pandemic's dying down a bit, I do feel that virtual events is here to stay. It's a more feasible option than live events. And obviously, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, you can just join it, record it, watch it at a later date. So definitely see an uptick in it.
Brilliant. Michael?
I think, you know, even though people have now moved back to physical kind of engagements, I always say that, and this is something that here at Standard Chartered, not just Kenya, but within the East Africa markets, the value that LinkedIn events gives us, and what we envision that it's going to give us, and it's something that we're really keen on, is giving that extra layer of authenticity to the kind of audiences that are joining to participate in your webinars, right? So, for example, we've had a couple of investment themed webinars that sat outside of LinkedIn, right? And at the end of it all, what we'd realize is that the categorizations of clients, or rather, not necessarily clients, but stakeholders who join in to listen, are not really. It's a mix, a mix and match of people who form. You have your affluent audiences, you have your mass retail, you have all these kind of groupings, right? And sometimes it's hard to gather, quality leads out of it, despite the fact that you're having great awareness and what have you. But with LinkedIn events, what we're envisioning is having a majority of people who are joining in being the kind of audience or target clientele that we want to rope in. So I do see it outliving actually the whole move to a return to physical engagements. Marius.
Brilliant. I mean, from our perspective, I think virtual events, they obviously help with scale, and I think they help a little bit more with the transactional. And now when you have these in-person events, it's a little bit more small, it's more intimate. You actually appreciate seeing somebody and having that in-person conversation, and it's a little more personal than it is business. So Theo, what's the one quick tip for marketers and companies that you would give to immediately improve their LinkedIn marketing?
I would say use Business Manager. So if you're an agency and you've got all those different things to go through, Business Manager is game changing for us, and it is something that we have carefully developed. So there are nuances with it, and there are ways that you might need to play around with it and figure out how it works best for you. But as long as you follow our guide and our tips, Business Manager will improve your marketing instantly, and will improve your time and saving yourself time to focus more on your marketing.
Brilliant. Michael, anything you'd like to add to what Theo's just said?
Data is key. And I sit in, of course, not from the agency, but from the from the LinkedIn side of it. What I've seen that has helped us when you're looking at marketing on LinkedIn is looking at the data that you already have as a business, in terms of your client characteristics, what their general makeup, right? Because that feeds in also into how you're going to structure your advertising initiatives on LinkedIn, so that you're able to really gain a lot at the end of it in terms of business impact, right? Return on investment, return on media investment, actually. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Jude.
So I certainly do agree with Michael in terms of data. But if you don't have enough data, then I strongly recommend testing everything out, seeing which ad units work for you, do A/B testing as well, and then optimizing towards the strongest performing instead of just getting set in one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. So last two questions. It looks like we're going to finish up a little bit sooner, unless there's tons of questions that people want to ask right now in the comment section. First one, any brands that you see that are using LinkedIn products and LinkedIn marketing really, really well, Theo?
So manufacturing companies are growing their brand amazingly on LinkedIn, and they're able to tell their stories really well currently. And manufacturing is definitely the industry that we're seeing use LinkedIn very well.
Any particular brand you wanna give a shout out to?
Not one particular brand, but that industry, maybe more specifically oil and gas within that, we are seeing them use it very well.
They've got a good space in the market right now with some challenger happening up north. It's a good time to get the brand out there. Michael,
Wow. I hate to say this in this format, but our competitor, actually, we used to be one family many years ago, Stanbic Bank, but in South Africa. I love what they're doing on LinkedIn. It's just it's remarkable, and we're seeing it all the way here in East Africa. So it's something that I think they're doing really well.
amazing. I'm sure they've got a big smile on their face.
Yeah.
Jude,
So obviously, as an agency, I mean, we work across various clients and industries. But what we find is clients that actually set aside a nice, healthy budget to actually do the full marketing approach, that always tends to work well.
okay, brilliant. Theo, just one question before we delve into the last one. This is from Carla. You've obviously mentioned that Business Manager can immediately help with your marketing efforts. Can you maybe share one or two practical examples?
Yeah, so a practical example of it is time. So when you're actually within Business Manager and you can add and take away permissions, it will help your marketing efforts, because rather than worry about who has access and I need to give this person permission for this, which is a process that used to take way too long, you can now do these things with a click of a button. And what this allows you to do is focus your time on your marketing efforts. So often when we're creating campaigns, we're kind of strapped for time and we just go through and we quickly do it and we submit a campaign. If you're using Business Manager, you'll find you have extra time to create these campaigns. And often all it needs is another 5 minutes to actually sit down and think about the audience and narrow it down a bit further. And Business Manager provides you with that more time, which is why I say it's a tip that everyone should be using, because once you have extra time, you're able to get the most out of LinkedIn as a platform.
So it absolutely makes sense. On the one hand, you want to remove the friction from getting stuff done. Makes complete sense. So last question. Can you give us one super duper secret sauce best practice for helping brands and professionals to develop their business advantage, whether it's research or common sense or this human truth? One thing that people can use today that's gonna help us be a little bit better at what we do. And Jude, I'm gonna put you on the spot.
So I mean, I do it all the time, and I mean, any client, any category or vertical, I'd actually just go into the platform and play around. So play around with the targeting audience, play around with the various ad unit types, and actually see what sort of results, reach is possible, etc. And obviously, then use that as guidance going forward.
Amazing, Michael.
I have to say, don't be afraid to ask for help. Yeah. Whenever I see things I don't understand, whenever I'm like, I always reach out. Not just, and I always encourage the agency as well. Yeah. Reach out to Turn Left, of course. And because you're able to get a view on things in a much more granular and impactful way than sometimes when we think we know it all. So I think that's just my simple advice I would give. Just ask a lot.
Brilliant. Theo, take us home.
So mine would be measurement. So measurement is something LinkedIn cares about a lot right now and something we are working towards improving. And I would say focus on your measurement. So when you do these campaigns, take the time to actually evaluate them and remember, what did I target for? What was my goal? What was my objective? And how close to that have I reached? And then work backwards from there. Once you, like G mentioned earlier, A/B testing, A/B test and care about your measurement and understand how your marketing efforts are working. And then you'll be able to see what you maybe should be doing differently to improve.
Brilliant. Team, thank you so much for the time today. We've got some amazing humans on this call with lots of knowledge. I've really enjoyed the time together today. I'm sure everybody has gained some significant insights to use in their businesses. I'm going to hand back Zarina to close us off. Thank you to our amazing panelists. Thank you to everybody who's listened in.
Thank you, Marius.
Wow, there were so many useful nuggets in that. Unfortunately, we have come to the end of our webinar, and we hope everyone enjoyed it and learned a lot. I just want to say a special thank you to our amazing speakers and to our terrific audience, of course. Do join us next month on our next webinar as we explore the fast-paced and competitive landscapes of employee branding and talent attraction. Let's see you there, guys. Thank you again.
Thanks, everybody.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.